DukascopyTv today was granted access to a press conference with the Banque Cantonale De Geneve here at its headquarters on the edge of Lake Geneva. BCGE contributes to enterprises in and around Geneva. Today the bank's directors and CEO met to discuss these enterprises in more detail. Afterwards, I caught up with CEO Blaise Goodchin to discuss the bank's philosophy and portfolio. Now, Mr. Goodchin, in your words, it's a bank's philosophy and not its size which determines the quality of a portfolio. So could you tell us a little bit about BCGE's portfolio and their philosophy, please?
Yes, we think it's very important to have one philosophy of investment. You find a lot of different banks that can offer all sorts of solutions, but you cannot identify the major point of a philosophy. So we want to be personalized, we want to have a philosophy. This is the first point. The second point, this philosophy is quite simple. We think our clients have to understand this philosophy. Basically, we recognize the asset class equity, shares, companies, as the main performance distributor, the main performance creator. So basically, we think in the ideal case, a portfolio should contain, let's say, the top, the best of companies in the world. Let's say the 500, 600 best companies in the world. After, you have to arrange, you have to make a budget control, you have to have some bonds and liquidity. But the main point of our philosophy is to go to the real economy where the performance is created. Because we think performance is created by the real economy, by the companies, not by the stock exchange.
Now, small to mid-cap companies can be very vulnerable and volatile, and they're susceptible to changes in the economic cycle. Therefore, why do BCGE invest so heavily in them?
We think first the big companies, they are well known. Everybody knows about IBM, about Nestle, about all these. So the prices are quite right. So the potential of having, let's say, a discovery capacity of new growing companies is quite small with the big caps. So we think we have to have a little bit more, we have to put more small and mid cap in a portfolio just to be able to capture this growth capacity, this surprising power of SMEs to bring and say, hello, I'm now 10 times the value. And we are convinced that if there is a very serious, very strict, very disciplined selection of these SMEs, we are going to tap this potential of creation of value.
Now, we had the press conference today looking at partnerships with enterprises. Could you tell us about the market shares of BCGE, please?
The companies, the corporates, small, mid-size, multinational, all sorts of corporates in our region, Geneva, French-speaking Switzerland and France, basically, these corporates are very important for the bank. It is 1/3 of our results. So all these categories are contributing to the cash flow of the bank.
Could you tell us about some particular companies that you focus on?
We are a small bank. We have 1 billion Swiss franc capital. So we have created small business units going in real estate market, SME financing, corporate finance, trade finance. And these small companies develop their core businesses based a lot on service and also on financing. We don't put a general priority. We let our business units go, find opportunities, grow, and we make arbitrage of resources, capital, liquidity, technology, and workforce. We make this central arbitrage between our different business units. So we have not a preference for this kind of companies. We just follow the success of our front people.
What about in terms of the loan portfolio? How has that evolved?
In the last 5 years, we have increased the volume of 30%. So we have put a lot of money on the table of companies. Is it trade finance? Is it real estate? Is it the company corporate banking solutions? So we have massively increased our volumes committed, but also we have increased our capacity, the capacity of advisory services like merger and acquisition or planning of the risks or forex solutions. So our bank did a tremendous effort in this business in the last 5 years, and in the today presentation we just made a sum up of this progress we did.
And could you tell us a little bit about the enterprise transmission, please?
Enterprise transmission is very important because of aging. A lot of our clients are preparing succession, tending to the next generation. What we see more and more, it's not a family internal transmission, but more and more external transmission, sale of the company, with new actors coming, especially in the continental Europe, because it is well known in the US, UK, but now you have more and more private equity investor groups that come and replace, to a certain extent, a new generation in the same family. So transmission of business in Switzerland, in our markets, is a key dimension, and we try to position ourselves as a major value adder to this market.
And finally, is there a message from today's press conference, or perhaps a look to the future that you can tell us here at Dukascopy, which BCG are looking forward to?
First, this bank has been created in 1816, so we are not far from having 200 years of service to the economy. We did a tremendous work to adapt our offer to a very quick changing, a very demanding market. But the message is, an enterprise of our size, a bank of our size, is totally able to fit to the demand of these companies. We cannot cover all, but we can bring excellent solutions in certain big number of niches.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Pleasure for your time today. BCGE may be one of the oldest banks in the canton, but today we discussed everything from philosophy to future. This is Monica Gibson reporting for DukascopyTV outside the BCGE headquarters at Lake Geneve. We hope you enjoyed this exclusive interview. Please do click back to DukascopyTV for much more of the same. Goodbye for now.